Hey there, viewers. My name's Torinski, and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're, of course, jumping right back into the usual routine, trying to get a win, our 15 Rune win specifically, with our ranged character. And where we last left off, we'd had some pretty crazy luck, a couple of close calls, but in general, feeling pretty fantastic with the loot that we've gotten so far. So hopefully we can continue that trajectory today. Maybe finish off the run. We'll see if we continue at the speed we were seeing last week. But of course, who knows what the rest of the dungeon has in store for us. So without further ado, let's get ready to hop right into it, shall we? Back in with Grunter the second here. So we just finished off Cocytus, I think is where we left off last week. And so we have a decision to make here. Do we continue in Hells, either Gehenna or Dis, or do we head into Pandemonium? Are we ready for the randomness that ensues over that direction? We will probably be changing back out of our Ice Dragon mail here. That fire vulnerability isn't quite going to cut it, so let's swap back over. We lose a bit of AC, but that's not the end of the world at this stage in the game. And I guess with that, let's start thinking about heading in, shall we? Not necessarily the best way to warm up, jumping right into the fire here, but I'm sure we can sort things out here. So let's head on over to our Pan Gateway and maybe do one last little audit here. If we head into a fire-themed area, we could switch into Salamander Hide here against Sarabov. Continue to lose AC, but that's not the end of the world at this stage in the game. Generally, a lot of the enemies that we come across, at least the scary ones, don't really care too much one way or another about the armor class side of things. So we have fire, we have cold against Lamlabam. What else? I guess Molneg, mutation, a few mutation potions. I think we're all set to go. So at the risk of losing our mind here, let's just head into it, shall we? Feeling a little bit nervous today, if I'm being completely honest, but okie dokie. So it looks like we're just in a regular pan floor to start things off. Will hopefully, again, be a half-decent little warm-up for us here. We can already see enemies going blind with our lovely dazzling cloak, which is fantastic. So let's just get going here, shall we? Some scalding steam to start us off, and there's our first Panlord of the run, Wakuli Hoodoo over here. Bolt of Draining, nothing to worry about there. So in general, I think we are just fine to deal with this friend. In fact, just taking out these demons is giving us enough healing from the Shining One to make our way through without a care in the world. Fantastic. And let's hope we continue to see that kind of fight as we make our way forward here. Okay, there's the gateway to another section of Pan, which we can probably get ready to head into right away. Oh, hello there. I do see a ghost, or not a ghost, but a Moth of Wrath kind of wrecking us here, so we'll swap over to our penetration, try and take out the summoner and the mutation buddy at the same time. Not too shabby. And we'll probably continue the rest of the floor while we're at it. Guess I probably should have tucked in there and waited out the corrosion effect, but hey, we managed to make it through without too much trouble. So we'll just finish off the rest of the floor, see what kind of loot we can find before moving on to another region of Pan here. And that is not too bad whatsoever. Fantastic. I guess a half-decent warm-up there. Ah, the tension of great conflict fills the air. The mnemonic rune can be found here. Is this the holy section? We're already seeing some holy enemies, so this could be the Shining Keep. Maybe that's what it's called. I can't remember the official name. I guess we might as well read a magic mapping and take a peek. It is indeed. Oh man, we have to fight against our friends here? It's not the encounter I was hoping for. I guess we can pretty safely switch over to our penetration crossbow, seeing as how everyone we fight here is holy themed, so that Holy Wrath brand is not going to do a heck of a lot for us here today. But we might as well start exploring. Maybe for the time being, we'll drop some exclusions over yonder here, just not make our way into the main keep itself until we're completely ready to do so. Otherwise, I hope that we do fairly well here. We're at the very least not on a demon spawn character, so we don't have to worry quite so much this time around about all the holy brands that will be coming across. So with that, I'm hopeful for our future. Plus, you do get quite a bit of fantastic loot in this area of the game, so that should be a wonderful trade-off. Worst comes to worst, we just start the biggest civil war known to Shining One here by bringing in a bunch of angels on our side and go tete-a-tete against all of our holy friends here. But we'll see if it comes down to that. So far, nothing too scary as we continue to just blast our way through, holding down that tab key as much as we possibly can. And there's our escape route if we decide to go down that direction. And not too shabby. Let's just keep on keeping on for now. So far, I feel like we've been lucky not coming across too many reflection brands, because that is, of course, one of the sketchier outcomes that can come up here with all these shielded devas, of course. Oh, and there we go, ranged weapons hitting 27, fantastic. This does mean we can finally go back to training our fighting. We can solve the any issues of people who hate non-round numbers here. Knew that we'd cause some stress every once in a while here. Don't know what I'm talking about, but regardless, we can go back to train fighting now that we've locked in our ranged weapons title as the Merry Gargoyle. That is just absolutely fantastic. And is there anything else we even want to bother training? I guess invocations could always use a bit more of that. Shout out to the Shining One. Hey there, God, I'm so sorry. Lovely to see you here. Thank you so much for the recent follow as well, I believe. But always happy to see new faces. Howdy to yourself as well. And there we go. Okay, definitely quite a few new friends coming out of the woodwork here. Lots of smites coming our way, which is less than ideal for sure. Oh my gosh, down to 15. Health is a little bit lower than I was aiming for here, but maybe if we just pop around the corner and do I just start chugging healing, trying to keep on top of things here? Hopefully we don't immediately meet our maker as we come across quite a few new friends. Focus down this son of a gun for now. Divine Shield, I guess, doesn't actually help us out a great deal, and this is not exactly the ideal situation for us in general. Maybe I'll read an early teleport, try to get out of sight of all these gosh darn smiters, and there we go. We get placed down somewhere a little better for us to deal with here. Fantastic. And let's just hide in the corner and heal up, shall we? So there's a nice little learning lesson for us. Devas, not exactly the enemy we want to come across. A few too many smites coming down. Our relatively low HP pool here on Gargoyle definitely doesn't jive well with that. So do I bother finishing off the area? The demonic rune is the one rune here in Pandemonium that we can pass on. It will show up again in other venues if we decide to do so. So I'm very tempted to take that route here today. But maybe we'll try one final time to come and face our friends again over in this direction, and hopefully it's not too much for us to deal with. We are immune, I believe, to the Divine Flames there at the very least. So again, that's helping out, especially relative to some of our previous runs here. So that's fantastic. Hey there, Thelphon. It is indeed a nice looking crossbow. Both our Holy Wrath crossbow and this penetration one, just exceptionally lucky last week finding these in the nick of time. So hopefully that will make the difference here. I don't know where all of our Deva friends went that we were fighting before. I'm kind of concerned about them sneaking up on us from behind here. But hey, no time like the present. Let's just head directly into the keep here and see how things are looking, how things are feeling, shall we? If we get a few too many devas, then we know that it's probably time to just get the heck out of Dodge and try it out. Hey, Smoking, hello from Donbass, go for the rune. We'll do our best. Hopefully, we manage to continue our lucky streak here on Grunter. So no promises, of course. It's always an interesting time to say the least here in the extended late game. A bunch of might coming down shouldn't be the end of the world. At least most of these Sons of Guns are ranged, so they don't benefit quite as much from that side of things. And there is Seraph themselves. 212 health, can summon in friends, injury bond. It's definitely looking a bit rough here. So let us maybe start off by popping around the corner. And let's be ready to slam on the teleportation brakes here if things get a bit nasty. Don't know where my summon friend is. Ah, there you are. Never mind. Fantastic. Now we do have to be careful not to accidentally hit any of our new buddies here. But otherwise, we can definitely just start launching away. No clear lines of sight on our new angelic friend here. Oof, oof, oof. What can I possibly do here to potentially sort things out? Maybe I'll just call in another summon of my own. Some abjuration coming in. Hello? Seraph, okay, is dead? Holy moly. Well, that was a pretty sudden turn of events. I was prepared for that fight to go the whole 9 miles there. Jeez Louise. Well, I will gladly take it. And for the time being, let's just, I guess, continue to clear our way through here. Fantastic. Can't exactly complain about that. I'm still so shocked as to how Seraph died in one turn there, coming from half decent health to 0 in no time flat. But I'm definitely not complaining, don't get me wrong. The plus 12 short bow is an incredible artifact, but not something we're interested in here today. So let's just take a hold of our treasure and then get ready to head on to the next region, I guess. Holy moly. Ring of Evasion, don't need to worry too much about that. Can definitely let our friend do some of the heavy lifting here just so that we don't accidentally cause any collateral damage. Now is not the time to end up in penance with the Shining One, but we should be good, all things considered, and we'll just do our little, hopefully, victory lap of the zone here. Get a few more items, a brand weapon scroll. I guess we ignore for now. We're sitting pretty here. We're pretty happy with our current outfit here, I guess. Can't remember the word I'm looking for, but regardless, we are now ready to head on over to the next region of Pan. So let's do it, shall we? Our first Pan rune under our belt with the demonic rune. You absolutely love to see it. And let's see who we face off against next here. It looks like just a standard floor to start off. Maybe switch back to our holy brand as well, and that should be just fantastic. You don't know English well, but you watch my runs on DCSS and you like them very much. Well, nice. I'm glad you enjoy them. Always appreciate anyone and everyone who tunes in, and I hope that you enjoy the videos as well. So fantastic. Thank you also for coming on by and saying so. And I can guarantee your English is much, much better than I can speak any language other than English. And I've, at the very least, taken a few classes in various languages, and I just never quite got the hang of it. So very impressive regardless. And I hope you continue to enjoy the run here as we come up against another Panlord in Zyrane here. Now it says if you enter a Pan floor with a fixed rune, right? It does indeed. And thank you for the luck, Smoking. Yes, it lets you know for all of them, even the demonic rune, which can show up in a variety of different scenarios, just to make sure that you never quite miss out on grabbing them, especially since the majority of the runes, besides the demonic one, are a one-time shot at things, so if you don't pick them up there, you will never get the opportunity again to see them. And of course, as a kind of sidebar to that, if you don't kill any of the Panlords, you're also likely to see them later on, especially on the Orb run. So we're hoping to get pretty full clears of each and every area that we come across here, but I'm sure we can figure it out regardless as we immediately clear our way through this floor and can keep on keeping on. Just another regular region. How many digging charges do I have? Absolutely none. Okay. So probably just want to ignore our ghost friend here, and in fact, we're probably going to just try to leave this area in order to simplify things a little bit. Maybe if we get lucky, there's an Akoxek demon there that can break our way through the barriers, but that is just fine. I don't feel too bad about just moving on here to yet another randomly generated region. And let's blow our way through, shall we? Feeling pretty confident about any of these. Some of the rune floors I definitely have my concerns about, but unless we get exceptionally unlucky with the Panlords that spawn on these regular ones, then I definitely feel relatively confident about our abilities. Let's take another peek at you as well. Crystal Spear definitely has the potential to do some damage, as well as, oh, Firestorm is your other option. Okay, so this is one of the scarier buddies for sure. Let's bring in some divine help while we're at it, and see if those sons of guns can't assist us in keeping ourselves alive. Okay, never mind. Immediately just destroy that Panlord, making it seem like we were sandbagging a little bit there, but I assure you it is very likely that things go wrong here at some point here. So let's just hope for the best, shall we, folks? You didn't know it announced demonic? Was that a change? I believe it was. Because, yeah, I don't think it did in the past. But I did notice that as we got to the Shining Keep there, which is a nice change for sure, because some of the floors are pretty evident, specifically the Shining Keep. You know, you're seeing a bunch of angels in Pan, there's only one floor you could be on, but a few of the others are not quite so readily apparent, so it's nice to have that knowledge, especially for new players. I mean, I feel like it fits pretty well with the general trend of DCSS recently to make things a bit more explicit, a bit more available and upfront for those new players, which I am very much in support of, because I always love seeing new faces joining the community, of course. But okie dokie. Oh, I guess I didn't really pay attention here. It looks like we're just in another standard region, so there shouldn't be too much going on here. We'll just blow our way through. And that should be fantastic. Your country's pandemonium? That's definitely a rough comparison. I don't know too much about Donbass, but I'll have to just take your word for it. Regardless, here, we'll just keep on going. I didn't even check you out before firing a shot, but immediately taking you below half health is probably a fairly good indication that we're in a decent spot, all things considered, as we just continue to ramp up in all of our experience levels too. Let's just throw on a little bit of everything that we have remaining here and see what kind of progress we can make. I'm tempted to just blow through this floor. It's tough. Pandemonium is a lovely place to farm both experience and items. I'm definitely crossing my fingers and hoping for a few blink scrolls to show up as we continue to make our way through. Definitely is my preferred farming area over the Abyss. Even with the prevalence of mutators, I find that it is a pretty fantastic spot in general to pick up all those lovely things, but for the time being, we're not too concerned about that. So maybe as we continue forward here, we'll just look for the first available portal and keep on skipping our way through until we come across one of the Rune regions. And let's see, a +2 helmet, that's not quite going to cut it. In fact, what is our current hat doing for us here today? Right, regen, strength +9, it's kind of nice, not super necessary. I guess it does mean we could switch into heavier armor if we do happen to come across it here. but I'm mostly wearing the hat just to put on another stack of regeneration. For anyone who doesn't remember from last week, we're sitting at just below 3 health per turn, so even in a nasty scenario, we can pretty quickly get ourselves back into fighting condition here. That hat is bonkers. It's pretty amazing, especially on a different character. You know, if I wasn't worshipping the Shining One and I wasn't a Gargoyle, this fly and a couple pips of positive energy would be just incredible. Still is fantastic, regardless. But that is just fine. Holy triple crossbow, Batman. Indeed, normally I'm lucky just to find one, and this time around we got 2 of those bad boys, one of which is the penetration brand. We've gotten just absurdly lucky. And another triple sword, I believe. We had a triple sword, did we not? Maybe I'm confusing you with another character. I thought we had a Holy Brand triple sword. We could pick up that bad boy if we so desired. Probably wouldn't use it anytime soon here, but it might be a fun option for the future, seeing as how we are dex-based characters, so we can take full advantage of the damage scaling on that bad boy. But otherwise, we'll just keep on going through the realm of Mjoleg here. In fact, let's hop our way into a nice little corner as we get marked. And what did I get hit with there? Maybe the dopey mutation? Hopefully we don't get hit by too many mutations as we continue forward. I will bring in a Deva, and then maybe just start hitting our friend here. And again, just crossing our fingers that there aren't too many mutations coming down. Cleansing Flame can also start to be spammed as we begin to be surrounded by all of our new friends. And we'll see pretty solid damage across the board. And there, down goes Mjoleg. And I kind of hate how many mutations we have the potential of getting sent our way here, because I just want to hold on to our good ones. Having this regen, and oh, I guess we did lose our health one. We did have extra health here. We were robust previously, which was a big advantage here on Gargoyle, since we are, of course, naturally at a bit of a disadvantage in that department. But hey, losing that at least makes me feel slightly better about potentially quaffing some mutation potions. Ooh, a blinking scroll as well. That is beautiful to see. And there we have it. Another Pandemonium rune under our belt. Feeling pretty fantastic here. And let's maybe engage in a little bit of mutation roulette as soon as we clear out the rest of the area. In fact, maybe it's for the better. Now that we've gone the rune under our belt, Mjoleg is taken care of. Let's just head over to a gate and get ready to head off, shall we? I mean, we're going to have more XP than we'll ever know what to do with. Very much true. I mean, I'm already pretty much in that boat as I just started slapping on anything we had available here. So let's throw long blades into the mix, shall we? You don't even need to bother to set a cap for the time being, and that should be fantastic. So for these mutations here, it's nothing horrible. We can definitely make do with all of these. So do I even bother with the mutation roulette, or do I hold off for a few more zones, see if we get any more nasty mutations sent our way? Occasionally losing the ability to drink potions is not ideal, but not the end of the world either. It's not the inability to read scrolls, so we can always still just triple blink the heck out of dodge if things start to get into a nasty scenario. So let's just keep on moving for now and we won't worry about it. Funny enough, you're doing triple sword demon spawn that you named Big A-hole because you were in tab mood, ended up going pretty good, died a lot. It sounds like a fun run for sure. I haven't tried too many sword-based characters since the dex changes, but I definitely have a huge appreciation for it. Panlord that we don't even bother to ID and just start slinging definitely is a good indication as to where this run is at the moment. We're feeling pretty confident. What's the mutation count? Looks like we have 7 here at the moment. No multiple stacks of any specific flavor, so we're looking pretty dang solid, all things considered. Don't need to worry about getting sapped by the demon spawn, so that's a nice advantage over the previous characters that we brought here. Like the potion, sorry. Oh no, that's totally my bad. What are we looking at? Just 7, so we don't have a huge pool of mutation potions, which is why I'm trying to hold on to them for when things get nasty, as we get misshapen as the next one. Now that's a bit tougher. At the end of the day, the armor class, as we've mentioned earlier in the stream, doesn't matter too much, all things considered, at this stage in the game. But it's still not exactly what you'd want to see. Let's maybe even get ready to head over to the next zone here, shall we? Hey Tungsten, you know Melt, you love the YouTube videos, keep it up. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by to say so. I hope you continue to enjoy the videos, and definitely have no real plans of stopping, at least not anytime soon. So I appreciate it though. And yeah, I guess we'll just keep on sprinting between regions here. Don't need to worry too much about any of them until we get to the next Panlord, which may be the hubris talking, so let's hopefully not come to regret those. At the very least, between the insane regen we have available and the TSO healing on demon kills, we're in a pretty fantastic spot, no matter how you slice it here. So let's just blitz our way through, shall we? Those Sons of Guns are a bit frightening just because we don't have any great dedicated resistances here. We have a half-decent mix across the board. We can swap into things if it becomes absolutely necessary. But we're a bit of a jack of all trades here at the moment. It's always a bit scary to see the Quaslaw followers start lobbing all sorts of fun elemental effects our way. Hell Sentinels, also a pretty nasty enemy for us to face. Anything that has damnation is very liable to cause us some rough journeys going forward, so let's just hope to make it through in one piece. And otherwise, not too bad. There we go, finally finding our next gateway out of here. And yet again, just a normal floor. Because this is where we're getting into. At the end of last week's stream, I was worried that today's would be over pretty quick, or at least this run's portion of it. But somebody rightfully pointed out that you never know what your pan is going to look like, and so far we're seeing that come to fruition as we just continue to come across all sorts of random floors. Again, it is a nice opportunity to just get experience, to get items, so it's not the end of the world, and we're very happy to see it regardless as we head into another random region here. At some point I should probably start looking at these Panlords again. I'm starting to feel an unrealistic amount of confidence at our ability to make it through any encounter. It does help that we're dealing, I think it's even double damage against demonic enemies, which is just absurd with a triple crossbow. You're already handling pretty ridiculous sums of damage coming down on your enemies. So anything that compounds that is pretty incredible stuff for sure, at least as long as we can take care of those damnation buddies, as mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's just keep skipping, shall we? As we feel ourselves wasting away. Body sometimes deteriorates upon taking damage. That's fine. We're fine. And did I one-shot Uteric there? I'm so sorry, my Panlord friend. You do love to see it though. And again, we'll keep hip-hop happening here. In fact, we do immediately come across another gate. You know what? Let's just keep heading through, shall we? Normally, I'm pretty completionist about most regions of Pan. Try my best to clear them out, if not just for the loot. But we don't need to worry about it too much today. Again, we're in a pretty fantastic spot. So, with that in mind, I think we'll continue skipping through temporarily. At least see how things are feeling. We can always change our mind in the future and have an infinite number to go through as we come against Glorks here. So this is an area that I'm feeling pretty dang confident in. We have full negative energy resistance, which unlike other elemental resistances is a bit more holistic. If you have 3 pips of negative resistance, I believe it means you take 0 negative damage, though I could be wrong. Definitely correct me if that is the case. But regardless, it's the one resistance we're maxed out in thanks to the Shining Ones, so we can be pretty confident in making our way through, especially with the Holy Branded triple crossbow, rather. Hey, Brain, how's it going? Always lovely to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. As with all of you lovely folks, of course. Always more than happy to be hanging out and having a good time together here. Let's get some holy fire to just take care of the cursed skull so that we can not worry about torments coming in. We of course have torment resistance as a gargoyle innately, so that's wonderful, but still can pack a decent punch. And there we go, another rune under our belt. It's beginning to almost feel a little anticlimactic here. I'm definitely not quite feeling that way yet. My heart's starting to get a pounding, and I'm very concerned.